can get right to you. So for our first public hearing, or our only public hearing now this evening, item B, to hear input from the public regarding an ordinance of the City of Manvel, Texas, amending the zoning classification of 1.24 acres located at 22303 Highway 6, Manvel, Texas, from Light Commercial District, State Highway 6 Overlay District to Light Commercial District, State Highway 6 Overlay District with specific use permits, provided for the granting of a specific use permit with conditions to authorize the use of property for NAICS Use 811111, General Automotive Repair, and NAICS Use 811121, Automotive Body Paint and Interior Repair and Maintenance, providing for the amendment of the city's official zoning map, providing for severability, and providing a penalty in an amount not to exceed $2,000 for each day of violation of any provision hereof. So if we have any comments, Mr. Joseph, if you'd like to open.
Hello, good evening. I'm Joseph. We just purchased a land in almost last December, that is 2021. Then from onwards, we submitted this permit application on February. Actually, as per NAIC code 81111, that is for the mechanical and board, that was already there. And we have planned to transfer that one to our name to run on. We are basically automobile engineers, me and Mr. Satish. So we are doing the experience we used to work for Toyota Manufacturing and all. Currently, we are doing business in Stafford City. So we thought we can extend, or our facility is very minimum there. So we can start a facility in Manvel City, and Manvel City is growing. That's why we plan to buy this property to do that. And basically, this one and then we the additional permit, that is 8111 NIC 21, that is the body and paint, because nowadays the automobile situation is changing, so it's going to be electric. So there is no scope for mechanical. Maybe for the mechanical cars are going to be in 3, 4, 5 years. I'm not sure, but still, we have, if a body shop is there, we can survive. So that is why we give an additional permit for city approval. So that's it, that's everything to city. And without any, external modifications, they have 5,000 square feet metal building with all fire extinguishers, fire alarms and everything. A gentleman, nice gentleman who sold to me, is no more, but his children there. But that is a good building and strong building, metal building. And we don't want to disturb the building, and there's a nice parking, concreted parking there, and all fenced area without any public disturbance. And in this, it's very close to Highway 6. So we thought that's a good place to do some business there. So yeah, we are requesting city to start a new venture in this Manvel area. And we are living in Missouri City, very close. Thank you everyone.
Thank you. So we'll just do another call for any public comments for this hearing. Second call and final call. So we'll close the public hearing at 7:05. Okay, to the regular agenda, we have our consent agenda, which consists of items that will all be approved in a single motion unless anybody up here would like to pull anything out. Does anybody like to pull anything out? No?
I'll make a motion to approve.
All those in favor? And on to the regular agenda. Item A, consideration and possible action to approve and forward with recommendation to City Council Ordinance 2022-0-14. Does anybody have any comments or questions up here? No? Jessica, you want to give us a rundown?
Sure, I'll give you guys
Okay.
a short presentation. So the property is located at 22303 State Highway 6.
It's comprised of 1.24 acres of property, and it is zoned light commercial with a state highway overlay district. There are two existing buildings at this location, and one of those buildings was being previously used as an auto repair shop, and that's the 4,500 square foot building. The other building was being used for a game room. At this time, the game room has been shut down and it is no longer in operation. The proposed site plan that was provided by the property owner shows that there are going to be 5 repair bays that are inside the building. The elevations show 2 front door bays and 1 rear door bay. The existing parking lot does not appear to have any striped parking spaces. However, the site plan does illustrate some parking spaces there. They'd like to continue the automotive repair use that was there with the previous owner and then add an automotive paint and body shop use. The previous automotive use was a legal non-conforming use since it had been established prior to citywide zoning. The property abuts other commercial properties on Highway 6 and some other vacant undeveloped property. On the south side, that's also vacant and undeveloped, but it's zoned heavy commercial. Property to the north across from Mustang Bayou Road is in the city's ETJ. Those properties are being used as single-family residential or what is being constructed as an RV park on the north side of Mustang Bayou Road. Highway 6 is classified as a major thoroughfare with a 120-foot wide road. This property too is also maintains its the rural character and small town values by managing growth, which benefits strategic location, encouraging well-planned retail, commercial, and residential development. So it is consistent with the 2015 comprehensive plan, since we do have commercial along State Highway 6. So staff is recommending approval of NAICS 811111, which is general automotive repair, and NAICS number 811121, automotive body, paint, and interior repair and maintenance, with 17 conditions. Condition 1 is to provide striped parking spaces per section 7745. Condition 2, the property owner shall comply with section 7751, which are facade requirements when redevelopment or substantial improvement occurs on the site. Condition 3, the property owner should comply with section 7736, which is overlay requirements when there are redevelopment or substantial improvement on the site. Condition 4, no new freestanding light fixture shall be greater than 25 feet in height. Condition 5, all new outdoor lighting shall be designated that so no light spillover onto a budding property exceeds 0.3 of a foot candle when measured vertically. Condition 6, the ground level luminance ratio shall not exceed 12:1. Condition 7, any new lighting fixture mounted within 15 feet of a residentially used or zoned property line, public right-of-way and southern boundary line shall be classified as IES Type 3 or Type F and fitted with house side shielding reflector on the side facing the residentially used or zoned property line, public right-of-way and southern boundary line. Condition 8, all new freestanding lighting shall provide cut-off fixtures that conform with the Illuminating Engineering Society of North America, which is 100% of light output below 90 degrees and 90% of light output below 80 degrees from a vertical line through the fixture. Condition 9, the site shall provide a 25-foot wide access easement through the front parking lot and connect with the eastern and western abutting properties. Condition 10, the 25-foot wide access easement shall be marked as the fire lane. Condition 11, the property shall provide a minimum 5-foot landscape buffer along the west, north, and east side property lines. The landscape buffer shall provide a minimum 1.5-inch caliper tree at the time of planting and measured at the base of the tree every 30 linear feet. The landscape buffer shall include fencing per condition number 13 below. Number 12, the site landscaping shall be in accordance with sections 7744 and 7751 of the zoning ordinance. The minimum tree caliper requirement in section 7744 shall not use multi-trunk trees to achieve minimum caliper size. Section 7744-1E shall apply upon redevelopment of the front existing parking lot. Condition 13, the site shall provide an 8-foot tall opaque fence using weather-resistant wood species, wood treated with U.S. Environmental Protection Agency approved materials, painted wood, powder-coated aluminum, brick, stone, or masonry on the east, north, and west property lines. Condition 14, driveway access from Mustang Bayou is prohibited. Condition 15, a compliant trash enclosure per section 7736 is required before a certificate of occupancy is issued. Condition 16, a parking lot or parking area located behind the building, Mustang Bayou roadside, shall be concrete per design specifics of the city's design criteria manual. And condition 17, the paint booth and mixing/storage area shall be approved per fire marshal and fire code regulations before a certificate of occupancy is issued.
Very good. Any questions from anybody up here?
I do have a question.
Okay.
It is to Jessica. On number 8, the one you are prohibiting any access to, actually number 14, right? So I was looking at, I think I drove one times over there, and there is already have access, grandfathered access from this property. Is this property right now, currently, is it a commercial?
It's not being used right now. I don't think the business is in operation, but just a few months ago, it was being used as an automotive repair shop.
So it's still, so if it's a few months, I mean, like, unless city change the zoning, so I'm saying still, it is a commercial property.
It's zoned light commercial.
So the new business coming in the market, I mean, like, they try to do, is it going to be the same types of, or it's going to be heavy? It's the same type, right?
It's the same automotive repair. They're only adding what was different from what was existing before, and what they're proposing to do is an addition of paint and body. So that's the only difference between the use that was there prior. And when we had spoken with the gentleman, I think prior to purchasing the property, we explained to them that the existing business was legal non-conforming, and that they could move in with just a change of occupancy for that. They've decided, for whatever reasons that they have, that they wanted to make it legal with the SUP for the automotive repair, but then in turn, I've also asked for the paint and body shop component to that too.
So my question is, if this driveway in the backside is grandfathered, why they cannot use this, continue to use it? That's
So there is a driveway back there. The driveway it's just, I think it's just crushed concrete, from what I can recall, on there. So it doesn't conform to, the specifications we have today as far as turning radius on a Mustang Bayou Road, and it's not concrete. Whenever staff proposed this condition of not allowing the access, it was to prevent that commercial business from using that road. So we mentioned that there's going to be an RV park that's located across the street. Well, that's in the city's ETJ. So as far as use restrictions and what the city can and cannot say, we can't because we don't have zoning. So the concern is putting a lot of traffic on a Mustang Bayou Road from there if they've got that way that they can move in and out from that street. And if you've been on that road, it's not a large road. So
I totally
that was the goal.
Got your point. My only thing is, if something is already exist, and which is people is using right now, and why it shouldn't carry over as a grandfather? That's my question is. And whenever you're putting some prohibited in there, so it sounds like maybe in our code has something specifically said, if they're changing the business, then it does not going to give a grandfather this use. That's my only question is. So to me, actually, whatever you're saying, that there is no specific code really in there at this time, you just staff certainly feel that it should not be used.
So there's no, what your question is, there's no specific code that is requiring us from prohibiting that use?
Right.
No, but so again, it's a recommendation for a condition, and based on that condition, staff's making that recommendation because we're trying to limit the traffic that's on there. Again, it's from a land use perspective that we're looking at it. So you're not going to find anything specifically in section 77 or anything that says with this use you can't have this driveway. So it's drawing that conclusion based on the land use and other uses now that are going to be using that road, and also you've got Quail Valley Ranches, you got everybody kind of using that road back in that area. We didn't want to make a situation more difficult than it could be on that road with that recommendation.
Okay, that's, okay, I think I got the answer. But anyway, appreciate it.
Anybody else? Do I have a motion then?
With,
With the
with,
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, like you say, it's a grandpa business going on, and there was an entry exit in the rear portion of the property. And as per city, like she said, we can make some alternations, like you said, for the turning radius or the concrete content or whatever, in the specification without disturbing the traffic. I think we don't have that many cars coming, so only in case we need to open the gate because we need to move the car sometimes, occasionally, not every time. The main entry is from the Highway 6. And only, we need to move some items this way, that way, only for that. At least we cannot shut down that. That is not good, just move around the cars, maybe non-movable cars sometimes, not every time, or unloading the car from the rear side if this front side is fully traffic or something like that. So not a regular entry, but it's shutting down the gate. Now we locked it because we don't want the people to go, because they are taking this Mustang. What is the Mustang way that people are traveling through our property, to Highway 6. That's a shortcut. Now that's why we lock the gates. So we don't want to do, because they are running to Highway 6 through our property. That we noticed. That's why we lock the gate.
Okay.
So we can make some modifications in the concrete and charring and all those things, and as per city recommendations, only for a temporary thing. That means the key and lock is with us. Whenever we need, we can just open and put some cars inside. Then lock it back. But we don't want to permanently lock it. That gate.
Okay.
That's my request. It's my request.
So Jessica, is there a different way that we can put that recommendation that it's a, it's not a open gate all the time, but it needs to be updated to.
That's the
meet
only
code?
road to access Qual Valley branches, right?
I believe it is. Can anybody confirm that on staff side?
So if they don't have this drive, their main access would just be Highway 6, right?
Yeah, and
Is
this,
there like one drive on Highway 6, or would there be two?
they've got two driveways
Oh,
on,
okay.
on Highway 6. But to answer your question, you could make that recommendation that the gates stay closed, or it's, only.
Not used for public access or something like that?
You could, but I mean, then it's just, I don't know how you police that.
Right.
Because, I mean, I'll tell you, just from general patrols, code enforcement would never know if, how that's being used. So it just generally would be open. I mean, there is a driveway that's there. It's not up to code. So if
They
you,
said they're willing to bring it up to.
and if y'all are willing to, take that condition off, I would just ask that you ensure that it's built to, the standards for that driveway, at least for safety reasons.
Is this the picture of it right here? Is this the back?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I drove by there actually one time, so maybe 5, 6 months back. It is a driveway. It is an existing driveway. So that's my concern is really saying that,
Well, I guess my concern is you have residential, that's the only road to access their homes, and then you're going to have an RV park.
oh, this is already there.
No, I understand, but
already
as
there.
you have more occupancy along that road, and then they're going to be a full functioning business, I think, personally, I think it should be off of the main Highway 6 and keep that other road for residences. I mean, because if I lived back there and I'm coming home from work and I'm tired and I'm trying to get home, and there's all these cars lined up to, I don't know, they're being fixed or they're parked on this drive or they're right there, and I gotta go around or I don't know, I'd be annoyed by that. I feel like it should stay on Highway 6, but
So,
that's just me.
Can you get to the back parking lot between the buildings?
yes.
Okay, so you don't have to go around to come in. Okay. That's the only thing I was afraid of. If we're telling them that the parking lot's gotta be concrete, but you can't get to it, well,
There's space in between the two existing buildings, and it's actually gated right now, so you can't go to that back parking lot from the front parking lot.
I mean, from an emergency standpoint, if somebody needed to access it, you know, the gate's already there, or we're not requiring the gate to go away in the back, right?
No,
It can stay.
yeah, we weren't saying to do away with it. We just didn't want to. The goal was just to limit access on and off of Mustang Bayou Road, since they did have access from State Highway 6, and it's a commercial piece of property.
Can you zoom in on that? I want to see it up. Because I think I know exactly what you're.
It's where that little red, they just put that big red building right
Yeah.
there, right? Where they put
Yeah.
the RV park.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically, the road access is here to the Bayou Road. So that's private road.
Right here.
Yeah, but that's actually private road. It's not considered, am I right?
It's a driveway.
But it's considered private, not city maintained, not city anything.
No.
On the backside
On
of
the
the road.
backside
Yeah,
of
the
the
building.
Oh no, that's county road. It's a county road.
But my other question is, does this turn into a fire issue that requires a Knox box and everything else? Well, that's what I was meaning, if it has a lock. Yeah. So that's where I'm kind of concerned on, that's why I wanted to kind
These are
of
their
make sure I
two
was in a.
driveways, and then this is the driveway that we're talking about.
Because if you put a gate now up, and then your fire's gotta have access to it.
Probably.
I mean, yeah, they can probably come in
I
from.
think that's
No,
what
there's
that's gotta be what
something.
people are
This is the
cutting through.
hotel. I think. There's something right there. I'm just on Google right now.
Right, yeah, I can see that,
Yeah, they had pictures, which I don't have.
I mean, that's what concerns
but
me.
we don't, the city, the road behind that is county,
It's a county road. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
so that's on the very edge of the.
Yeah. So there's
I mean, I hate to
gate
insult the
here in
injury, but
between the two buildings.
I mean, I
Leave it
just,
As written.
yeah, same.
Yes.
So,
I'm good making a motion to approve with the conditions that staff recommends.
anybody second? All in favor?
So how this thing, I'm sorry, actually, questions. So if I like to also give the condition, but I like to put a 14 as a restriction, whatever they're asking for, that is gonna close the gate. That's my point is, can I say yes or half yes, how this thing work really?
You would just not,
Not approved.
yeah, not,
The motion's on the table to approve with the conditions that staff listed, and if that motion failed, then you could enter your own motion to approve with conditions minus the one that number 14, whatever it was. But right now, there's a motion to approve with the conditions that staff did.
Okay. Take that vote. All in favor of that motion that's on the table?
Oh.
So 4-2. Sorry. So the motion passes. Okay, item B. Consideration and possible action to direct staff to provide applicants written statements of conditions for any conditional approvals and the reasons for disapprovals of any plans or plats that were not approved per Texas Local Government Code 212.0091. Do I have any questions or motions?
Second.
All those in favor? 6-0. Item C, consideration possible action to approve excuse committee member absences. I have a motion for that.
Motion to approve Dorothy's absence.
I'll take a second.
Second. All those in favor? So 6-0. And I need one final motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?